Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through!
Holy calamity! Scream insanity! It's time for Fumble Through!
Fumble Through
A
Insanity.
podcast that brings its own padding to a padded room. Howdy, muchachos! I feel like it's been a while since we've been together, and I am extremely happy to see you, or all of you. Don't look at me like that, Luke. Even you.
What
Even the English version.
Can you see all of me right now?
Oh, no, not all of you. So I thought to break the ice, not a fumble question, but tell me, what is something that's become a focus of fascination for you in the last little while? What have you been doing? What's the thing that's taken your time?
Oh! I've got a list.
Is it talking to apes?
No, I've got two things that have taken up my time. One,
Okay.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, okay. You haven't spoken to us about this
So
at
good.
all, Lindsay.
So good.
Seems to be...
DMs could learn a lot from Baldur's Gate.
Have you seen the video of the guy there's something about being able to put stuff in pockets?
Yeah.
And there's a guy that's done it with like barrels, and he's basically put all these barrels everywhere and ignites one, and they all just make this massive explosion.
Yeah, you can pretty much do whatever you want. I mean, if you're a necromancer, people have been carrying around corpses in their bag so they can always summon dead, because you need to summon dead from a corpse. And until you kill someone, you've got nothing to do. So they just
reach into your bag and pull out
grab
a
a corpse, throw it, and then summon
Nice.
dead from it. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Seems unrealistic.
Sorry, I tuned out. I was born.
What platform are you playing that on?
PC.
See, yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that he says GMs could learn a lot, because there is no GM in that game. It's only player centric for players to.
It feels like you're playing D&D. It doesn't feel like you're playing a computer game. Like, you just do...
I could do without the screenshots of you in bed with other creatures. I'm not sure that
That was
I
a
need to wake up to that.
Memorum of J.R. Lockwood.
Yeah.
My bard, he got around.
he got right through it, I think.
Yep. Tentacles and all.
Oh, a lot of tentacles.
Yeah. And the other thing, this is literally today, I have discovered, I was watching an interview about, I'm going to try and get this right, DID, Dissociative Identity Disorder.
Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating.
Really?
Yeah, just like it's all stemmed from trauma, but they're like, the split personality. So
Yep.
apparently everyone hates it, the people that suffer from DID, but Split
Mm-hmm.
is the closest movie to getting it right. And it's just amazing how, they have trauma and it splits. And apparently 1 to 3% of people suffer from this disorder, and either they haven't had the trauma that triggers it, or they just don't tell you about it. But 1 to 3%.
How do they know that if it's not triggered and it's not apparent? How do they know people have it?
I've just started the deep dive today, but
That's
it's fascinating.
interesting. That's
Well, that's
interesting.
hot off the press for you then,
Yeah.
in terms of your
There was it was this interview, and he was interviewing a girl that she's got 22 personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just 22. Timmy's got like 50.
and she transitioned in the interview, and it was like she went dead behind the eyes, like she was unconscious, and then 2 voices started coming out of her mouth with her eyes still like glazed over, like she's unconscious, and then one takes the forefront and
Wow.
then introduces himself because he was a protector, and then he got shitty because she was wearing a skirt.
Because what was that TV show with Colette?
Oh yeah,
America, something
yeah.
America.
Yeah.
I know
whatever
which
that
one you're
was.
talking about.
That was a really good.
But,
I quite liked that there were, she obviously had that same thing, and there was my favorite part in that is the guy when she had a personality that went and pissed on her dad while he was asleep, that he thought he'd wet the bed. That's still one of my favorite moments. I was like, yeah,
The United States of Tara.
That's it.
Tony
That's it.
Collette.
Yeah, Tony Collette. That's quite an interesting show, but an interesting phenomenon about how destructive that could be as well. Can you imagine living like that though?
Well, that's the thing, is apparently like they have to leave notes for each other, because not all the time, like sometimes you can have like co-personalities at the same time, but sometimes you don't know when you switch what the other one is doing. So you have to leave notes. So one person was saying that they spent 4 hours driving back and forth because one person was going
Going
one
on
direction
holiday.
and one person was
Yeah,
going the
right.
other thing.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was very fascinating. Like how, like it's not as destructive as it makes out in those movies. Like there's no evil personalities.
No.
It's,
Yeah.
you do have persecutors, which are kind of like, you know, if someone's like fighting you, they'll come to the front to try
Yeah,
and
right.
defend you, and then you
Yeah.
have protectors that are protecting you from certain types of trauma and all that kind of stuff. But it was
Very
it was quite a
interesting.
fascinating thing to find. So
Okay. What about you, Luke? What's your fascination at the moment?
I don't know. I'm a bit slow to the uptake on this one, maybe, but Audible.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really engaged in audiobooks.
As in
but
audiobooks.
yeah. So, yeah, I've just been spending credits that I didn't know I had.
What book are you reading?
So at the moment, so I just finished Magician by Raymond Feist.
Okay.
It's been
Yeah,
a long
yeah.
time since
Pug.
I've read that book. Yep.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Amazing.
Okay.
I absolutely love it.
I did that not too long ago.
Yeah, but it's like a 36-hour.
Who's your
Yeah,
favorite
commitment.
character from The Magician? We've all read The Magician, right?
Nope.
It's highly recommended, like
Highly
big
recommended.
high fantasy.
I'll add it to my
really,
Audible wish
really,
list.
Yeah.
like in
I feel I'm
readings-
worried now because I have a sneaking suspicion that Lindsay will come and say it was shit.
In reading,
Is there rules for the magic?
no,
Oh
Okay,
no!
I won't like it.
He's checking out now.
no, there really isn't. The rule for the magic is take the magicians away because they're too powerful.
Yeah, basically,
in
yeah.
the next books. But
Favorite
yeah,
character in that book?
yeah, I definitely have. I have two favorite characters, but I know the one that everyone will go for, but the one that I go for, I don't think is the same one that everyone loves.
I know.
Mhm.
I've got two.
Mm-hmm.
So one is Thomas,
Mm-hmm.
because I love the fact that he was a dude and then he transitions to becoming the king of the elves, and by wearing the armor, I think that's a really good story arc.
Yep.
And the other one is not Pug, but the other magician who pulls oranges out of his bag.
Oh, that's not in Magician, though.
No.
That's
Is
he
it?
turns up later
That's
on.
in Darkness at Silver.
Is he
Seth
Darkness
Anon?
and Seth Anon?
Seth
He's
Anon.
definitely
But he's in the
in
world, right?
He's definitely in the Serpent War saga.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
had him
yeah,
on,
yeah.
and he's hilarious. He ends up with a little disciple called
Yeah,
Shapey
yeah, it's
or
just a
something
trick.
like
It's
that.
just a
Yeah,
trick.
yeah, yeah.
Finstan or something like that is
Yeah.
his name.
Fistandantalus.
No, that's from a different world entirely. That's interesting. Who's your
Yeah,
favorite?
no, I'd probably go with like maybe Macross, even though he's in it very
Macross the
fleetingly. Like,
Black.
there's so much potential with that guy. I really like that guy.
I would have thought somebody would have gone Jimmy the Hand.
Yeah, but he's briefly in
He's
it
briefly
again.
in it.
He's another character that develops later
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
later
Yeah.
books.
Briefly,
Really develops.
another
it.
character that's briefly in that, but I think my love of him started in that is Arutha. So the
Yeah.
Prince Arutha is
Arutha's
one of
very cool.
his
This is
my
what's so
favorite of the
great
characters.
about that writing of that book is that the main characters are without a doubt awesome, but all these smaller roles that are around there, like
Yeah.
the Shinzawi family
Yeah.
over on Midkemia,
the
yeah, the
Asian continent.
that's right, yeah. And
See, I never got
Kellerwan, thank you, yeah.
Kellerwan.
The troubadour that's with him over there
Yeah.
that ends up being quite a main feature towards the end. Dolgan, the dwarf leader, the elves, they're like all the characters that they're bringing around the main characters are fantastic. And the intrigue as well that's going on in the background for the kingdom at the same time as this war going on the Eastern Front. It's just, yeah, brilliant.
How are you finding? Like, I love books on tape. I absolutely adore them.
I'm enjoying.
Me too.
I will never feel that it's as good a substitute as sitting down with a paper-based
Really?
book. But I see now the value of it in terms of like when I'm driving and just hearing that and just immersing myself into that sort of
but
thing.
a good reader, the guy, the
you've
person who
gotta have a
reads them.
good- yes.
I've had good and bad ones, and even the bad ones I'm okay with. I think because I'm visually impaired, I can't see very well. I got really thick glasses, but audibly,
I'm over here, Justin.
I'm an audio kind of guy, so I love listening to stuff. I think it hits me a little bit harder when I'm in the moment, and I like hearing it brought to life a little bit and stuff. Like I listen to audiobooks ridiculously, and I'm in the middle of a series right now that I'm absolutely loving. It is my obsession as
Because
well.
one of the things is you can preview the book before you obviously
Yeah.
get it. So
Yeah.
that I was clicking, not too keen on the voice app. Not for me. And
Yeah, okay.
I'm listening now to a Warhammer based one
Yeah.
called The Harrow King or
Okay.
Hollow King. It's about a vampire that's lost his kingdom, basically walking around trying to find chaos
I'll tell you some really good
People
ones. The
think of
Star Wars, even though they're not canon anymore.
Oh, yeah.
There's a guy who reads them, and he does the best impersonations of of Luke, of Han, of Leia.
really?
Like he gets it right, and he's
did
very
the Thrawn
good.
novels that I just listened to,
he's
and he was
very
amazing. And there's characters you don't know.
It's Mark Thompson, I think his name is.
Yeah, something like that. But he's like, oh, that guy he's pulled out. That's and you can hear different actors that he's pulling off to make the character come out wrong.
One thing I find when I start listening to them in audiobooks is how wrong I get people's names in fantasy books.
When you
Yeah.
read
Oh, that was
them,
like
That's
Thomas.
half of
When
the
you said
Thomas.
Thomas, it's like it's Thomas. It's like,
Yeah.
is it really Thomas? Like,
no,
okay.
it's Thomas. Well,
Yeah, that's
it's,
what I mean,
there's no
yeah.
H in it though, right?
Yeah, but it's still, you can have an alternate spelling of
and-
names that still sound pronounced the
yeah,
same.
yeah.
I don't even pronounce him in my head. I go, "That's that person."
Yeah.
And you just look at
Yeah.
it, and
Oh,
that's
that's
the
interesting.
imprint. It,
Oh,
there's
okay.
no audible for me in that.
Oh,
it's
there's,
just
yeah,
a
it's
visual.
always for me when I see that the
Right.
word is pronounced in my head as I'm reading things.
Yeah,
like that,
right.
Yeah.
Do you read out loud?
Anyone asked?
Like, it's a serious question. Like, some people need to prefer to hear it, and like,
The only time I find I'm reading out loud is
Even-
if I'm
even-
having to read a question
Yeah,
on something.
right.
I'll read it out loud to sound the words out sometimes. But
even
if I'm reading
internally,
a book,
you kind of internalize the audio, if you know what I'm.
yeah, I
mean-
would say that it's out loud in my head.
Yeah.
Yes, if that's
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a thing called the Audies, right? So the Audies is the Audiobook Awards that happens every year. So
Audies, nice.
I'm such a fan that I follow the Audies,
Oh, wow,
and I
okay.
actually go into the different. So they have different genres. So there's like the radio play kind of thing. There's the multiple actors who read books, and then there's the guys who do the most kind of voices. So the guy who I think there's two books that I've read or listened to that have the most amount of voices. I think the guy who reads Game of Thrones has something like both of them are over 200 distinct voices, and there's a guy I can't remember his name now. He did the voiceover for Pushing Daisies, and now I can't remember his name. His name slipped my mind, but he does Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
And
Stephen Fry.
no, not the Stephen Fry. There's another guy, and he does 200 something distinct character voices, and they are brilliant. But some of the best ones are in there, like the World War Z
Is it
audio.
Jim Dale?
Jim Dale, that's his name.
Doesn't Mark Hamill do the World War Z?
Mark Hamill does a World War Z plays, so that's a multi.
It's supposed to be very good
That's
as
a
well, though.
real.
That I should listen to because that is
Yeah, it's really good.
a great. When I read that book, that was
And the
fantastic.
the audiobook of that is slightly different, but just as powerful
okay.
and really, really cool. But it's
So-
very cool.
I did Wise Man's Fear
Yeah,
on
I've done
audiobook as well, and it's very, very
I've
good.
done that.
Very, very good.
I might listen to the Wheel
I'm
of
Time. I've just done the Wheel of Time,
Really?
and I'm now
'Cause
doing
season 2's coming out.
I'm
soon.
now doing Brandon Sanderson's I've done like the Mistborn series, and now I'm on the second
I
Mistborn
can't
series
do
with
the Mistborn. I
with
can't
Wax
get
and
into it.
Wayne. Wax and Wayne are the best. Like this series, I am so in love with the melding of magic and cowboys. Like they've got
there
guns.
rules? Are there rules?
There
There
are
are
super
so
rules.
many
There are
rules.
specific rules, and there's a whole appendices of one of the books that they read, and it's just like how it works and stuff. But such good storytelling, such depth of character. Like there's a character called Wayne who is just a kleptomaniac. And this is one of the things, like, you know, when I was saying I listened to it, like there was a moment with him that actually brought a tear to my eye, and I think it was the way it was read. I think if I had read it myself, I would have gone, oh, that's, because I was listening to it, I actually had a motive response to it.
Yeah,
and
right.
it was very, very cool. I'm not going to go into it because it's too much and it won't translate. well.
I love how he just keeps stealing people's hats.
Yeah.
Well, I got one other as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the actual question?
What are you obsessed with?
Obsessed with?
What's your passion?
My 8-month-old son.
Oh, nice.
Not that I'm not obsessed with my daughters as well.
Yeah,
but just having this phase again
Yeah.
with a young child.
And knowing it's your last.
Yes,
Yeah.
and like just savoring every single moment,
Yeah.
every bit of food
He's
over
adorable.
the face, and he's standing now up and like holding onto the sofa,
Yeah.
and he's done it a couple of times, but tonight was a particularly bad time. He fell, and onto his back and smacked his head on the ground, and it was a
On the
wallop
tiles.
as well.
Yeah.
And while I did react in a way that probably wasn't the calmest, at least I was thinking like, it's just a knock on the head, not like, oh my gosh, my baby's going to have brain damage,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is what I would have done the first 2 times when that happened. But he was
It hasn't really affected my kids.
Yeah, I've had one that went the entire way down the stairs. Yeah, went to the doctor just to make sure. Still not sure he's right. Maybe he was born that way. Maybe it's Maybelline.
But yeah. So definitely savoring and enjoying as much of that as possible.
Yeah,
when we
that's
can.
great. That is really nice.
Mm.
I've got a bit of that going on because I'm at the other end, whereas my oldest kid is
right.
about to
You're right.
flow the coop. What?
Jumping into everything.
Oh, I do. Yeah, it is true.
I don't care.
Yeah, because my oldest is about to fly
You're
away.
the business, the pointy
Some
end.
on the other side, so I got a little bit of that going on. Too.
Is he moving out?
And he's not moving out, but he's on the cusp of manhood. Yeah, but I'm very cognizant that the next holiday that we have will be probably the last of our family unit, like the childhood family unit. The next will be I will actually be taking an adult with me that I can go drinking. He doesn't drink, but I can
He
go
can drive us drinking.
I can go drinking with, or someone that he can drive me around.
Has
now.
he
can-
got any plans for what he's doing after high school?
He wants to be a copper.
What does he need to do for that? Is just straight into it?
Well,
or has
he
got to
fell
go and do
down about 15 stairs and hit his head on the way.
some- Oh, that's that one.
Yes,
So he
that's
can
that one.
take a
That's
hit.
the one.
So all the prerequisites are met.
So no, he wants. He's. I don't know. He's got. I think in his head he's got a vision of kicking indoors with machine gun, like being
coming in,
tactical response
Yeah.
and stuff. And so he's going to go and do a justice course before that. So who knows? In this day and age, who knows what will be the idea? Like he's 18. That he's the world is in front of him, and he thinks one way, and I look at him and go, "You're so dumb." And he won't listen to me for anything.
But you don't know anything, do you?
No,
I mean,
of
that's
course.
the thing. Like, the
don't
parent
know-
never knows anything.
No, anything. So
Were you like that with your parents?
of course, of course.
I found it a little different because I was going through an arts degree, and when I kind of went, I need to turn to my parents for some advice. Even at high school, drama was the thing, and my dad was an engineer, and my mother was a kind of secretarial, kind of straight.
to be a
Yeah.
doctor.
So lots of advice coming there.
Well, so I'd
test.
look to them and they'd be going, no, you've got to get a proper job and you've got to do a 9 to 5 and what is this? And they'd ask
Find
me
a job for
questions
life.
like, so Brady, what is the job out of this? And I was like, I'll just go work in the arts. What does that mean? And where are the work and who's employing you? And they had none of that
Sex
context.
I
It's going to be a waiter.
had a very similar thing because I was studying games design.
Oh, right, yeah.
So, all worked out.
Did you have to do that because Justin didn't want to jump in that time?
Oh.
Yeah.
My parents never asked me questions. I was the last child. They didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, you were doing whatever you wanted anyway.
That's right.
so-
You guys did all the hard jobs before me. I coasted.
Oh,
Yeah. What are you obsessed with, Brett?
What do I have been, look, much to my dismay, I have been training a dog
Mm-hmm.
because no one else in my fucking family will train the dog that they wanted. So at midnight last night, I was out walking said dog.
A puppy, not a dog,
Well,
a puppy.
she's 9 months old and is exploring her teenagedom.
biting lots of things.
Only me.
Okay.
But I spend all day with her, so I've got to train her because I've got to get her to do the things I want to do. So I'm walking her a lot. I'm doing a lot of training with her, which means I'm out listening to music and audiobooks on walks a lot, which is really, really lovely. Look, as much as I say it begrudgingly, the dog is lovely, and as I always thought I would love her. I just begrudge having to do all the fucking work.
love you and hold you and hug you.
right.
just a bit of time sharing on.
Well,
on that would be appreciated.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't want to do all of it.
Yeah.
exactly the reasons I tell my kids that we are not getting a dog
Yeah.
or a cat or even a goldfish.
You don't
Cats are
mind.
good because they do them. They just run.
We've settled on chickens.
Goldfish
Oh.
are fine too because you can freeze them and then just float them around the bowl if you kill them.
a third.
in the ice block.
Yeah. The problem with goldfish, they say it's really good to sleep with your pets. Not goldfish.
So, dog, and the other thing I'm really enjoying right now is I recently picked up some work as a lollipop lady at the school.
That lollipop person.
Well, it's
Gender is a social construct.
crossing supervisor.
Thank you.
But I tell all the kids as they cross, I'm the lollipop lady, and I'm finding so much joy in
This is a
that.
severe hormone
It
imbalance.
must be amazing, to watch the little tiny, the little year
I'm
ones.
standing
are
right
like
outside prep. I get
teacup
all the
sized.
prep kids.
Yeah, the
I have a
tiny
lot.
little things.
There's a coffee shop right there, so all the parents go get a coffee. We have a little chat while we're waiting for the
Did anybody
cars.
get you a coffee?
I haven't pushed that far, and it's really hard to drink a coffee while you're doing
Yeah,
it. but-
there's rules. He's
Well,
in charge
Well,
of
well,
children.
hang on a
or
second.
drinking
Drinking
coffee,
lollipop.
and jousting with a lollipop
Hang-
stick.
Yeah, so today I figured out
The lollipop guy was real twitchy today.
Well, today I did jousting with the lollipop as I walked out, and I was pretending I was on a horse, and then that was fun. The kids have had book week, so they all came dressed up in
nice,
book
yeah.
week,
Yeah,
and I get to play with them all. Those
Yeah.
kids are showing me their cards from bloody Coles and who you're missing, and all of those 5-second conversations. It's the right amount of conversation for me with people. 5 seconds, and then
Yeah.
we're done. Parents who I see every day. Now, here's the thing that I've noticed about. There are some parents who wear activewear,
And there's
And-
some parents who
and they
active
know-
wear wears them.
and they know they can. And there are some parents
And
who wear.
they look active.
Well, they wear it because
wear
they
it
know
for
they
active.
can wear it. No, none of them. They every day they're in this active
Yeah.
wear, and I know it's their day wear, right? But they know they can wear it, and they walk like they know they can wear it. And there are some parents who wear active wear who have no idea what's going on. It's like a bag of oranges walking down the street.
So what we're saying, Justin, is please take off the active wear.
right now?
It's like a bag of orange, Justin.
A bag of orange.
Oh, I wish it was orange.
But yeah, I'm
It's a
really,
weird shade of red at the moment.
I'm really enjoying just my stop sign and a whistle.
Yeah, nice.
I want you to start working on the Darth Maul for next one.
Oh.
Get the lolly-
Get the higher
Top bit at
ground.
both ends.
Yeah, get the higher ground.
Some of my crossing supervisor colleagues get very frustrated with the cars who park in the wrong spot or cross when they shouldn't. And, there's some cars you're like, I'll wait for this one to pass and let you go. And the car stops and I'm like, well, you're going to be there for about 5 minutes then, dummy.
I have control here.
Yeah. So
You're
I
on my turf
I
now.
stand out there and I waltz on out and I waltz on back and, pull a little bit of power trip with your stop sign.
Yeah, you
It's
did.
fun.
I'm liking this the jousting idea. You can do the tightrope.
Oh.
I,
No, you're not allowed to hold it horizontally. I've got to hold it at a 45
there's a
degree angle to
specific-
get out there, so I can couch it under my arm like I'm in the upright jousting position
Wow,
to
I
get
had
out
no
there.
idea there were regulations
Oh,
like
yeah,
this.
because I like to jump on, I too have been trained as a crossing guard and had those moments.
How's your dog,
if
Justin?
the title for this episode isn't the one that's all about Justin,
He just jumped on in the back end of it.
How's your dog training going,
No,
Justin?
I don't have a dog.
How are you training your kids?
I used to love because we used to do it in the after school, right?
Yeah.
And I used to love doing the thing of like, thank you for coming to my crossing. I hope you've enjoyed your stay. Like doing that kind of
I'm like,
conversation.
oh, it's a group
as
discount
well,
for
yeah.
you. Look, come
Yeah,
on
have a
over.
lovely-
And some parents are like, oh, you don't need to. I just crossed by myself because it's just him. I was like, no, I've got a face that can stop traffic. Don't worry about it.
That's funny. That is funny. Yeah. Good.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Did you?
Did
you did everything.
yes, that's
I've
right.
done it.
That's
No.
right.
Well,
that's
no,
right.
I
How
mean,
funny.
I have a really bad obsession at the moment, and it is with a video game called Ark Survival Evolved. And I have been playing this game. Like my children have started to comment on how much I've played this game. I play it so much. The world of dinosaurs. I'm there all the time. It's a problem.
I've got a book for you.
It's you do too. You
Couldn't
do
have timed
too.
that any better.
Did you read through that?
No, I've read a couple of chapters.
Bedtime at Lindsay's
What
house.
fascinates me is it's written by a professor at Columbia
Of
University.
archaeology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
But-
crazy.
My wife was having a while
Oh.
where she's like, I'm having so much trouble going to sleep. So I started reading that to her before bed. And she quickly told me to stop.
Oh, hey.
This is the new paleo diet.
Yeah. Oh, gross. Well, that wasn't the dicey question. I was very careful
Really?
to say that. No, that was just me catching up with you because I wanted to know what's interesting. Because I need something that's not video games and dinosaurs. But I've jumped into all your other things and tried them.
I think that's been great.
I would love to be playing more video games right now. I'm still trying to get through Red Dead. I'm still trying to get through
Red
my
Dead 1
challenges.
just came out. Oh,
Is it out?
yeah, it's out, but it's only out on PlayStation and what's not
I have
the Wii?
PlayStation.
What's the other one? The
Switch.
Switch. So you can that one. Yeah. Yes, I made a gesture with my thumbs.
No, it's just like
that was just
all
like
the-
any
all the-
controller. Just a generic
It's like, how
controller.
the hell did
Or
you
in
get
fact,
Switch?
or he was rolling a brolly
it.
or whatever. Yeah.
He got it. He got
Oh
it.
dear! I've actually myself though been playing an awful lot of Warhammer Underworlds. Like,
Oh.
well, you know, because it's been at work mostly, like literally every night almost after school.
After school, I walked past and he's nerding it up.
Loving
and
himself.
stuff.
Sick.
Absolutely
Yeah.
obsessed. It's got me
Yeah.
painting again, which is great.
Yeah. What's happening on socials, Lindsay?
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and YouTube.
Anything of note happening? Anything interesting going down on the
No,
socials?
not at the moment.
I've got an apology.
What is it?
Well, I have had a busy couple of weeks. There's been some illness in my house, and I turned 50.
Your wife was in hospital.
Yeah, there was that. So while I've been able to edit and release the episodes, I have not been posting socials for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
They're all going to come out on one day. I'm going to
perfect.
do 3 weeks of socials
Yeah.
In one day.
in one
Let's do
day,
it. Let's do it.
and they're going to be every hour. Socials will release.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah. So
Can we do a Sunday? So we call it Social Sunday. Social Sunday.
no.
I thought you were going to apologize for the TikTok ban.
What
TikTok ban?
Brett did a TikTok that got banned.
Oh,
What?
yes.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. Too many nipples.
Yeah.
I still don't know why, but you know,
It's an utter
no,
disgrace.
no one will know now.
well done. That was really well
I did
done.
an
Made a tit of
unboxing
himself.
video. I got because all this stuff on the middle of the table. I thought, every time I get a thing, I thought I'd video myself and unbox it and talk about it. And I did that, and then they said no.
Yeah, because it was all sex toys.
Well, I think it was quality control.
Sorry, I've seen TikTok and then
That probably would have got
that's not
more
going to get
views.
you banned.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they thought it was advertising. Who knows? We don't know what the algorithms are.
So the account got banned.
No, just that
Just
one.
my
Just
video.
Brett.
I've you know what came up this week, which was the tour of the Fumble Factory.
Oh, nice. Nice. All right. Speaking of the tour of the Fumble Factory, you know what a big part of the Fumble Factory is?
The big red fridge.
The big red fridge, which is
Oh.
guarded by the big angry dragon.
Yeah. So today's beverage.
We need a big angry dragon on the front of that fridge
Well,
now.
I like how you're saying big because today's beverage really leans into that. This is from the Colossal Brewing Company.
Nice. We're all about the big.
And I'll read it before I tell you what it's called.
Yes.
It's a hazy extra pale ale,
Okay.
1.5 standard drinks, so in that percentage area. Resistance is futile. Uncover a new world of unexpected flavour. A superb balance of unworldly tropical aromas and super juicy flavours creates a refreshingly hazy encounter of cosmic magnitude. This is the Hextra Terrestrial. And I thought about playing on hex maps when I bought this. I thought about
Phoning home?
Starfinder. And then
Sorry.
I thought it was
found
really
that funnier
cool.
than I probably should have.
I thought it was a cool
This is
little.
This is a great can.
it's a
can,
great
right?
can.
Where do you find these? Honestly,
Colossal have a few of
That's
these,
very
and this was one of the few that I could have bought.
I love that the alien is
Like
A wasp and a
like
pine cone.
pineapple.
well, it's not
yeah.
pine cone, it's hops.
It's hops.
Oh, there we
and
go.
there's-
Yes.
But also
and there's like a
6 ar-
desert island on it.
6 arms
that
for
looks
a
like it is in the moon.
extraterrestrial.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. 1.5
Right.
standard drinks. I am also not drinking, so if I can
Still.
take somebody else's and
Yeah.
have a little bit.
I was
Bitty,
doing that
bitty.
until my wife scratched my Tesla.
My wife.
Is that a
Still
yes?
can't
euphemism?
believe
Want me to
that
start
your
now?
wife. After you read a dinosaur books.
Yeah, I'm off. I'm going. Here we go.
So this is the Hextra Terrestrial from Colossal Brewing. Oh.
There'll be no extra caressing now.
Right.
So-
And I got this because I thought something lighter because Justin was easing back. Also, I haven't drunk a lot recently, so this I cannot wait to get into this. How's that? 10 mil of head, Luke?
That is
Nice.
very, very nice. Sobriety is actually doing me quite well.
Bullshit.
It's giving me more time with the dinosaurs.
I find drinking doesn't impinge on any of my other activities. I can
Ooh,
find time for
smell
both.
that from here. That
Is it hops forward?
nice.
zesty?
Is it
It's not hops
citrusy?
forward. No, it's not too
Are
hops
they
It's
forward.
very
Oh.
citrusy. Yeah,
Yeah.
very zesty.
Cheers, fellas.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
Oh, that is refreshing.
Okay, so it's got
Fuck.
is. I haven't tasted it yet, but it's got
That's
those
great. There's a
lime.
grapefruit
I'm
in there. I
only
hope
doing
that's
a
gonna
little
mess up my
taste. It
medication, but-
smells.
Passion
It's
fruit?
passion
Passion fruit, there we
fruity.
go.
Brett almost knocked his drink over.
Really
then.
did.
It
Can't
smells.
have two in one night. This is really good. Luke, I'm going to race you to the bottom on
It
this
is-
Oh,
one.
you reckon?
It is not what I expected. I expected something a bit more sour. Judging by the smell, I expected a little more citrus.
I
That's-
was wary of a sour. I saw a couple of sours there and was wary. There's another colossal sour that I thought might be good, but I went this way because I was like, you're light, easy, fruity. It
I
was
did have a lemon meringue one that was made for where we work, Luke, by Soapbox Brewery.
Oh,
That-
wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it was very sour. It was certainly not an all-day drinker.
Yeah.
But it tasted like a lemon tart. Like it had a
I
very
could have drank that all day, I
Yeah.
reckon.
Oh, it was a little too much. But
This
that
is
is
very, very
it's
easy to drink.
This is mellower than I would have. Judging by the aroma, I would have thought that it was pretty pungent or tart.
Full
It's
on the
delicious.
tongue, but it's not. It's light.
There's
and-
another one that the Zitho Brewery does. It tastes like that, but it doesn't have the same weight to it. It's a lot lighter. This is a nice hop.
It is hops forward though, isn't it? Is that am I?
I think you
tasting
just used
something?
that for, you had a Coke and said it was hops.
No,
forward.
but I'm tasting like an aftertaste. There's a bitterness of
think-
a heavy bitter taste that's there after.
I
the
don't think
end.
that's the hops forward. I
That's
think
the hop forward
is
would be
that?
the first thing you taste is the hops, not
Yeah.
the last thing.
that might be the malt on the back.
Yeah, maybe it is malt that I don't like. Maybe it is the malt side of things that I'm
I
not
don't know.
a big fan
I
of.
really, really like this.
That
And
I
thank-
could drink
thank you,
for
Colossal Brewing.
days.
I don't know that I could be. This is not a session beer for me.
No?
It's certainly
Ah.
a one-off for me, though.
Well-
I would enjoy sitting there and having a chat with people. But
I could probably do 4 or 5 of these and then move on to spirits.
wow,
Yeah, I could too.
wow.
Brewed in New South Wales for Pinnacle Drinks. Brewed and canned in Australia. Love it.
Loving the
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a lovely pink color.
It's a
Isn't it?
work of art almost. You know what I mean? Just I
Yeah,
love.
the can
I've
is
become
amazing.
quite a slut for packaging these days in my old age, and I just absolutely love a good, well packaged product, no matter what it is, as long as it's high quality packaging.
Okay.
Well, I like it to taste good too.
Yeah, that as well. I mean, that goes a long way. But I mean, like the taste starts with the look, right?
Is that-
first
it-
taste with the eyes, as they say?
Is that like activewear? As long as it's packaged
I don't
well.
care how well that
I was
a bag of oranges is packed.
I was going to
It's
say,
packaged well.
how did this
Yeah.
table pass up a slut for packaging?
So now I'd like to go into the mind melding dicey question for the week. I know
Oh, fuck.
we haven't done it.
Let's
I
go,
was
let's
just
go, yeah, let's
catching
do it,
up.
let's do it, let's go.
I'm here with some
I'm in.
people. I feel like I haven't seen you. I love it. So this question, actually, today I want to talk about something that has happened to me recently. I'm going to jump on my own thing for once. So, as you guys may or may not know, I have been collecting comics for an extraordinary long time. So, I've been buying specifically Spider-Man comics, but a lot of others along the years since I was a teenager. And there's been times where there's been flush times and lean times, like when the Aussie dollar has been a bit weird, it's been expensive and all of that kind of stuff. But it's been a very, very long time. We're talking 30 years of me collecting comics. This week, though, I did something I never thought I would. I cancelled my comic
Oh, you
box.
did?
I am
You
now
were threatening about it.
no longer a comic collector, and it hit me a bit harder than I thought it would. It's been a long time. Like, I've been buying them and I haven't been reading them. And I got to a point where they're very expensive at the moment. And I'm like, I enjoy reading comics. I'm not reading these ones. Something is stopping me from going to that shop, buying the actual physicals. So now when I read comics, I tend to put them, they have a digital code in them. So I put them into digital and then I'll read them digitally if I read them. But I haven't read properly for ages. And so it got to a point where I'm like, I'm spending money on this thing. I'm not doing it. I feel like it's the end of an era. I got home and I literally had the sads that day because I felt like something had finished for me that was a bit finite. So this is my question. What in your life has ever come to the end of its era? Why did it end? And what did you replace it with? And how did you maybe deal with it? Like, what are some eras that you had and you went, this is done? And you felt something.
World of Warcraft. So I played
Why?
World of Warcraft for a long fucking time. Like, I mean, probably
What's a long time?
12.
I'm not trying to be facetious about this.
The first time I cancelled it would have been about 12 years.
12 years playing that game.
Yeah.
Like how often?
I'm a bit ignorant.
Oh,
How
every
long
day.
has that game
Every
been
day.
around for?
20.
Okay.
So every
Shit.
day. You played it every day for that period of time. That was
Yeah, I mean, I did
raids.
dial
and,
back a bit,
Yeah.
but yeah, like
But it was constant in your life.
it was a thing that I played every day.
Yeah.
And I still go back occasionally, but it's not that obsession anymore. But like, yeah, I played that for a long time.
And was that both versions? Like, wasn't there the WoW Classic and then they
WoW
moved
Classic's
into,
only a recent thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, from Classic and it evolved into what
Into
it is now.
what it is
But yeah,
now,
from
yeah.
Classic is
God,
when
Justin,
I
WoW
played.
Classic's recent, you noob.
WoW Classic's recent. Well,
Yeah.
no, yeah, anyway.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that was a
Did
big
you-
thing.
So tell us about the end of that era. What led to it?
Just money. Well, I had to get a job. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So half of your hours of playtime gone.
Yeah. Actually, no, I'd already had a job. I don't know. Actually, I do know what was. I started dating. Started dating seriously. That's
Something
probably what
else to
cut it
do
out,
with your
yeah.
hands.
Yeah. But no, it was just, I wasn't getting as
Story
much
as
time.
old as time.
It's expensive, you know.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it like a subscription?
Yeah.
It's monthly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it
wow.
a steep price?
Not really.
Like
It's-
$12 a month or something?
No, it's like 16 if you subscribe for a year. But,
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
about $20 a month otherwise, which is like a streaming service.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know.
Hmm.
And I just kind of
How did you feel when you finished? Like, what did you fill it with? Oh, well, sorry, you started dating. Let's not go into what you filled it with. But like, you know, how
I
did
just moved on to different games.
Has anything hit as well as that? You know, like I mean,
Fucking
obviously
here
you
we
played
go. Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Over that time, not more recently. So let's exclude Baldur's Gate 3 if we can. So obviously, if it pulled you in for 12 years, that was a big passion. That was something that really kind of just ticked so many boxes for you to commit that level of time and resources and energy into it. Has there ever been any other game outside of Baldur's Gate 3 that's really captivated you to that extent?
D&D tabletop has been my
Okay, so tabletop. Yeah,
New-
I was thinking more like digital game, but yes, absolutely fine. Yeah.
No, this became my new passion sort
Yeah.
of thing after
Okay.
all. I mean, and that was a good 6 years before I found another one kind of thing. But yeah.
wow.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I still go back to WoW occasionally because I don't know, you kind of just have this, I don't know,
Do you regret it?
what, playing that long?
Leaving
or-
it?
No.
What about playing that long then?
No.
Is there things about it that you miss? Like, is it the people you were playing with? Because obviously you had an online community and friends and
I
stuff.
lost that community that was about halfway I lost that community and I started playing solo
Mm-hmm.
and doing different things. I don't know, it just
Oh,
kind
is
of,
that when you were playing with Hiro Nakamura?
that was early on.
Okay.
That was that was the very first part. And then I went to an Australian guild and we got really friendly with them. Like I spoke to that, we met up at the pub and all that kind of stuff. And that was a good guild.
Local people.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah. And then it kind of just, they all moved to. I was a big PvP player.
Yep.
And then they all moved to a PvE because the rating was easier. And yeah, that was kind of when it started. I started playing solo because I did PvP, and then they make changes, and it was just kind of like, I don't know. The thing I love about WoW is it's so big now. Like, you know, for a game to be that big and they update it constantly, there's so much different stuff, and it is slowing down now. Like, I've played the latest expansion and I played it and that was it, done. But like, so many people put like time and effort into silly little things, like little Easter eggs that you can find or funny quests, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like a masterpiece of everyone putting in little bits and pieces.
And I suppose that's always going to be, that's there for eternity. Well, or as long as
As long as the
you can
servers
always
are up.
step back into that if ever you needed to or wanted to.
Servers.
But yeah.
You're looking at me like I've got something.
Luke's still thinking.
No, I've got something.
I'm not sure I've ever stepped out of something purposefully and like thought about that and went, no, I'm not. I didn't have that transition like you had, Justin. I have things that I have let atrophy naturally and then have regretted them later. I really regret stopping gymnastics in high school, and that was just about me going, I'm at a level where I'm not being able to train properly, and the people I'm training with are doing it 3 times a week because they're at the school where the training is, and I can only get there once a week, and I can see them getting so much better. Like, all of the issues with that. Plus, I was a teenager and like, what the fuck am I doing this for? And traveling for 45 minutes to training. But then I look back and go, that was a huge benefit to who I was in my life, and I was quite good at it, naturally good at it. And if I was able to train at it, I could have been exceptional at it, I think. And I look back at that and go, oh, gee, I wish I'd kept that up. And in fact, what I did was the opposite and kept nothing up and have done nothing with my person.
You've been flexible in how much your belly can
Just
expand.
don't put any activewear on. Yeah.
We call them mumble pants because you can see the lips moving, but no sound comes out.
Oh. I heard a term the other day that might relate to this. Have you ever heard the term flappuccino?
No. What?
Okay, so apparently a flappuccino is a female version of a tea bag. I was like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I like how they've kept it in the zeitgeist of
flappuccino. Is that
Cafe culture.
is that what a mumble pant is? Like a flappuccino for your
well,
pant?
Muchino.
Yeah, I can't think of anything that I've gone. Look, there's stuff where I've done for a while and then I've given it up, like Counter-Strike, or not Counter-Strike Mobile. What's that mobile shooting game that
that's Call of Duty.
Call of Duty Mobile. And I was really fucking good at it. I'd win. And I was like, every day I'd play that thing and like I loved it. And then I went, no, I can't play this anymore. Not because I didn't love it, but because it was taking up way too much space on my phone and I needed that space for other shit.
What about things that might naturally just be a period of time, like a university or courses or a job or a tour? Like, I mean, of all of us, you've been on tours and stuff and had those experiences that have come to an end. Like, do you find sometimes there's something in that you go, oh, that was, the people that I was with, that moment in time is a moment that I will cherish forever, and I don't think I can ever replicate that.
Look, I think they call you do a show and a show lasts for a period of time. Yeah. And they call it a company because you really bond with the people in that kind of, there is a gelling that happens with those people. You live intimately with each other for a long, long time, especially on tour where you're traveling, where you're living with each other. You don't know anyone else. So you're socializing with the same people. You are spending a lot of time with those people and you know them very, very intimately. So I did a tour through regional Queensland. And we would get home and at the end of the show out on weekends and we play cards and we drink and everything was done together. And, you love those moments and they'll come to an end and you kind of learn to figure out how to reconcile the 6-month journey or the 3-month journey or the 6-week journey of those shows. I'm not sure. And you kind of always go, well, we'll meet again because it's a small world.
We'll always
so,
have Paris.
yeah,
Don't know
right.
where,
Yeah.
don't know where.
But even like recently, we were driving out to Stanthorpe, and I was like, I played squash in those courts on
Yeah,
tour with
yeah, I remember
someone,
you telling us.
and really lovely memories of playing squash all over Queensland, finding the squash courts in regional Queensland. But it's not like I give that stuff up though. It's like that's the end of the contract. You move on and you move on to the next thing, and you love the period, but you know it's a short period of time, and then you move on. So it's like
It's interesting because I go, working where we work in education, we have staff rooms, and there is a camaraderie in your staff room, and it's like other jobs, like even in hospitality, the people you work with, sometimes there are just groups of people that are the most amazing. Like I remember, I can distinctly say that I've worked in 3 different places, and the groups of people that I were with are some of the most amazing people that I will cherish that moment. And even in that moment, I was like, I'm really lucky right now. Like it is a treat for me to actually come here and do this thing with these people. These people are amazing, and I feel that way sort of coming to this group sometimes without Brett. But I feel that way with our role-playing groups as well, somewhat. But there are moments because you're kind of forced there and everyone's in the trenches together and stuff. So I find that sometimes the end of an era as well. And when someone leaves and you're like, it's never going to be the same again. Like I have to put to rest a moment of my life because of that.
So having said that, I recently left my job at QPAC. Well, recently. It was last November, but I'm still talking about it as recently, right? And that took me some time to reconcile. QPAC has been a occupational home for me, and I've jumped out and jumped back and jumped out and jumped back. And this last time to leave was quite difficult.
Yeah.
So there was a moment where I made the call to not be there anymore and had to kind of sever time. But I kind of feel like that's a relationship breakup. It felt like that where I love you still, but we can't be together. This
not
is
you, it's
abusive. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question about the gymnastics?
Yeah.
Why can't you go back?
Look, I went back and
Did
tried.
you say, why can't you backflip on that decision?
No, shut up. I went back and tried to start up again when I was in my early 30s, and I couldn't do the fucking warm-up.
But isn't that the whole point of training?
No.
Like
Not to be amazing at it straight off the bat, you have to work up to that.
like how many likes or comments do we need on Facebook to get you to start training to do splits or something?
There is an age. The ligaments
The
can't
thing
do
about
it.
gymnastics for me was I never had to work for it. I never had to work to be good at gymnastics.
Yeah, but now you do.
I don't like that.
Got it.
I liked gymnastics because I was naturally good at it, and I was never flexible, but I could do
have
the
a
thing.
daughter that has that very mentality.
Yeah.
The minute something gets difficult and that level of natural talent evaporates, she loses interest.
This wasn't the evaporation of the talent. This was I would keep working at it. Even if I was able to go to training 3 days a week, I would have done that and kept working hard. And there were people there that were pushing me and making me do hard stuff. But, and pommel horse was shit. The rings I loved, vault I loved, but pommel horse I hated. Like there were things in that you go,
Stop it.
I knew I was on for okay because I looked at Lindsay and he's laughing as well. So
I couldn't go back now and do a vault. I couldn't go back now. Like I tried to do a handstand and my whole back cramped up. I can't do the things that I used to do.
But you could.
And I've told you about trying to do a backflip,
You've
right?
got to start small though. You can't expect your body now to be able to do what you did that your brain might want
My
to.
brain doesn't know that my body can't do it.
Can I ask this question? I have a debate running in my
I
family.
really want to
at the
do this
moment.
now. I want to start a campaign.
Why don't we all do it?
Yeah,
I am
do
not-
it.
no.
Let's start a campaign.
What is it? Okay.
I was never good at
Can I
gymnastics.
ask
Me
this
either.
question?
Yeah.
Because I have a debate running, and I think I might be wrong. I'm going to concede this. What is a backflip? Describe a backflip for me.
It depends on what country you're in.
Okay, what's a backflip to you? When I say what's a backflip, what's a backflip?
Yeah, it's a backward handspring.
A backward handspring. What's it to you? Look, this is
Just more wank words. I mean, what's good?
It's where you jump backwards, land on your hands, and then your feet flip over your head.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly. Not flipping backwards with nothing touching the ground
Backward
and landing on your
somersault?
feet. Yes, that'd be a backward
Yeah,
somersault.
so you Google these things because my kids were making fun of me the other day because I said a backflip, and they're like, like, because I was describing you as a child, actually. We were talking about when we used to play ninjas in the backyard and you do backflips and backward somersaults. And they're like,
Jackie Chan.
yeah.
32 backflips was
Yeah,
my record.
On the spot.
Yeah.
Because
Sweet.
they're like, oh, we've got a friend.
There's your challenge.
We've got a friend who can do a backflip. And I'm like, yeah, your Uncle Brett could do a backward somersault. And they're like, and then I showed them a video and they're like, no, that's a backflip. And then sure enough, I Google it on YouTube. A backflip is what I know as a backward somersault, where you stand, you flip around with nothing else touching, and then you land on your feet. That's a backward somersault.
Was it
on
an
YouTube.
American clip?
It was American flip. I think Americans
So
call it
Americans call it a flick flack.
a flick flack.
A flick flack. It's a back flick flack. Or a front handspring. So
Yeah,
they'll
a
go
flick flack.
round off, flick flack, back salt.
Because they call a somersault a backward roll. They call a backward somersault a backward roll, is what we know as a backward roll. Like a roll on the floor. Yeah. End of an era, Luke.
Well, I've got one that was relatively recent and one I'm actually in the midst of right now. Well, it's interesting you said about uni, because then I was like, oh my gosh, because yes, uni was like but like you pointed out, that wasn't something I had to walk away from. That was just something that
It finished.
ended.
Yeah.
Which took me
was
a number
finite.
of years to kind of reconcile. But in terms of things I've had to walk away from, recently having to walk away from the casual game, that's been really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, with the arrival of my third child, time is short, and other things unfortunately
It's like
take
your left leg.
precedent. Yes, very good. So that was actually a decision that was a while in the making, with lots of conversations with my wife about the best way to proceed with that. And so obviously made all the more difficult with that weekend away that I didn't actually manage to get to.
It was horrible.
That I didn't get there. Thank you, Lindsay. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, just a weekend. Oh, man.
But I was looking forward to
Full
that
of
because
gaming.
I hadn't seen the guys collectively together for a long time, apart from that one time I did a guest appearance and nobody knew I was arriving.
I'm here.
And no one cared.
I know what. Yeah, that's right. I just sat in it 10 times.
We did miss you on that weekend, Luke. We did.
And more recent, the one I'm actually going through right now is moving away from training.
From taekwondo training.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, I'm not like moving away from like my own training. I mean, like, and moving more into that kind of supportive teaching role in class, because my body is just at this particular moment in time, especially with my arthritis and my hips, is not allowing me to do pretty much 70% of the things that I should be able to do or used to be able to do, and reconciling that transition into a space of where I've reached a certain age and capacity is difficult. Like I said, I'm still there. I'm still to and fro and wrestling with that. But there's going to come a point within the next 12 months where I'm going to say, I just can't do this
It's
anymore.
really interesting you talk like that, because I would say at this table, you're probably the fittest of us. Like you're the one
With the
that's
heart condition and the stent in it. Yeah.
You've got the heart condition, you've got arthritis, you've got the hip thing.
You've been souped up.
That's it, yeah. I am the million rupee man.
Hey, they just got to the moon.
Saying that, though, like a couple of weeks ago, you just were doing push-ups.
Yeah, look, anything that doesn't require a full hip mobility or of activity moving with the hip is fine.
Yeah.
I can do for days, but the obviously Taekwondo is a kicking martial art.
Yeah.
And it's just that idea
body.
of transitioning. Well, the rest of my body can cope with any of it, but it's just the hips. It's just the kicking and then a particular plane of movement as well. And
Should take up capoeira, because then you can balance on your hands to kick.
I think that's more in their hips.
I've looked at other stuff and I have tried other stuff, but the thing is, I always
His
get
hips don't lie.
the pull back to the Taekwondo, because over 30 years invested
That's
time,
a lot, yeah.
on and off. It's not been a continuous 30 years.
But
of
it's
training.
a love affair, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what happens whenever I go off to do something else. Sarah goes, "You're always going to end up going back to Taekwondo. I don't know why you have this conversation," but it's that for years now. This wrestling with my capacity to actually do what I used to be able to do 15 years ago, and I simply cannot do that anymore. Is where I'm at in that space. So I'm real time trying to walk away from something.
Point where you go, I can't perform at the level I want to be at, so there's no point me performing at all.
No, so there was I have wrestled with that.
Yeah.
And I've moved past that. Now I'm at the point. I probably within the next 18 months to 2 years will end up needing a hip replacement.
Yeah.
So I'm at that point where I'm like, I could pop a load of anti-inflammatories and stuff.
Yeah.
Train. It'll be uncomfortable, and then I will suffer for 2 or 3 days after that with very poor
No
sleep
yeah.
because of the pain and everything like that. I did have an injection in the hip, which eased things off for 5 months. So I do need to go back and have another one of those. But
Hyaluronic acid.
hyaluronic acid. That's right. Lip fillers.
It's for your hair, isn't it? No, it's facial.
Yeah,
cream.
yeah. So there's that option to offset it for a couple more years, the hip replacement, but simply flinging the legs around and stuff like that in particular positions and stuff is just not doable.
There are so many.
And I just like,
And at what point do you go, like, I totally get that I'm going to teach people because I've got some expertise. At what point do you go, I'm not going to compete anymore because I can't be in that competition at the standard that I would expect I want to be?
I don't know. I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm still like in my head, because now I'm over 40, I'm in the president's category. So that's 40 and upwards. So
You're
I'm
in
going
masters,
up against
right?
like 50-year-olds and above. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm doing all right.
I'm doing all right. Yeah. Because I can still move around the ring
Yeah.
and burn them out and then just go
And
in
they've
and
had
pick
2
them off.
hip replacements, right?
We've got to use your youth while you're young.
I kick your
But
teeth
I
out
can't
and someone's
help
got
but
their
feel,
first.
I'm literally the youngest one in the category,
Yeah,
so I
right.
can't help but feel it's a little unfair, but
That's fun.
whatever. In that sense, but just moving around, I'm in there, and like it's a young guys thing mostly. So like you got all these hot shot.
See, you say that,
20-year-olds.
and my uncle, Quinton, I think they still listen to this thing. He plays badminton and he's in the Masters and has done Masters for a long, long time. And that thing kills your knees.
Yep.
His knees are fucked. He still plays. He loves it. He'll turn up at any time there's a
And he's
cock on a
good.
court. Anytime there's a cock on a court, he'll turn up. And he's really good and he loves it.
Shuttlecock.
Right. Yeah. He's never let his inability to perform as he used to stop him performing in another way, and he's just found ways around it.
Yeah, and this is where I am now. I mean, I'm transitioning, like I said, into that more instructional role rather than I'm here for me.
Yeah.
I'm now here for other people.
Do you think you'd ever get
I'm sure
to
your wife's happy to hear that.
Yeah. Well, my daughter's started to take it up.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter this time, because one of her friends at school's decided to take it up as well. And she's like, oh, my dad does taekwondo. That's great. We can go. So now she's the cool kid because her dad's actually an instructor at the club. So yeah, how long that'll last, I don't know. But I'll enjoy that moment while I can with my daughter.
Interesting.
Definitely. But yeah.
You could be the old crotchety sensei with the big stick that smacks everyone on the knuckles and,
Not in this country.
lobbering around with
Yeah.
the
In this
cane.
country.
I have another job that requires me to be allowed to work with children. So
Smacking people with sticks in another capacity.
but yeah, so that's me in the middle of it.
Can I follow on from my daughter, because you're a taekwondo wanted? I had a parent-teacher interview for my eldest son who's just discovered the love of drama at high school.
Okay.
And that's great, even though I'm telling him there can only be one starving artist in a family, and it's me.
There's no money in it. No,
Yeah, right.
You're wasting your time.
Don't you
No
wanna be a
son of mine's
don't you
going to
wanna
be in
be a
the arts.
doctor?
Music, drama, home ec. He loves all the kind of active kind of
But that's
work
good.
at school. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. It's fine. But the teacher went, yeah, we're going to
Fred's
do
like, don't you want to rebel and like get a job with the government?
we're going to do a prompt copy. And now I've done about 1 billion prompt copies in my life because that's my job, and I've been trained at university level and was
You
quite
know shit.
exceptional
You
at
know
that.
nothing.
And I said, oh, prompt copy, okay. And then she went, yeah, we're going to do a little known play called Blurred by a playwright called Stephen Davis. And at that point I went, oh yeah, I know that show. I did the world premiere at Brisbane Festival of that show and wrote the prompt copy for that show, which is in the archive at QPAC for that show. And I said to Josiah, if you want me to come to school and talk to your class about this, fuck off, no way. I don't want you to come to my class. No way.
You don't know anything.
You don't know shit. Oh, that's not how you do it. No way.
One of my
At
kids,
some point, he turned into a Samoan. I don't know when.
one of my kids has recently. So I've got 3 kids. The youngest one is the only one that's clued on that I've worked in a school and I have knowledge. Only because he's like, I'll go to dad. He'll help me write my rough copy by telling me what to write so I don't have to think about it. Like, I won't
And
do
I
the
just
work
polish
for
it up.
I won't do the work for him, but I'll help him plan it out. And he's like, it's a shortcut. And all the other boys are now going, oh, that's actually
Useful.
you know stuff
yeah.
about stuff. And I'm like,
My 3-year-old is kind of not really. She's not questioning me on things, but she will now just go, "Yeah, I told you." Like she hasn't told me this in the past, but she'll just be like, "I told you Batman was in this."
you know nothing.
But like with
Just get used to being wrong, Lindsay.
but with the teen angst of like a 16-year-old and she's
it's
3,
just
I'm just like,
beginning.
oh God.
You're at the bottom of the hill, my friend.
Lots of wow time coming your way.
Well,
But yeah, take advantage of, I want to go do that because Dad's doing it because
Oh,
I
yeah.
got you don't know what a prompt copy is, no? I was like, dude, world premiere. In fact, the company that when I did that show, everyone in the show went, Brett, you should be wheeled in on a golden throne, call the show and wheeled back out again because it was like something like 243 cues in 53 minutes. I didn't stop talking for an hour.
multimedia.
Yeah. It was like amazing big ass show that
They
I
still
was constantly calling
And they
cues
have
and things.
studied
and
it.
things.
How
For
did
the
that,
last
I got to
20
say,
years.
how did that feel in that? Well, I know we're rolling on a little bit now, but how did that feel when you were in that parent-teacher interview and all that unfolded? You were like, "This is this was almost written right now. This moment in my life, it was written for me to bask in that."
Yeah, I didn't do the prompt copy conversation with Josiah by himself. The whole, we know blurred. Dimity was sitting there. She looked at me and rolled her eyes. Because we just done. Look, Josiah should be good at drama. He's very arts literate. He's had a lot of exposure since he was very young. Dimity and I are both in the arts, and we know when people say they're in the arts, you go, yeah, all right, you've done some shitty drama somewhere somehow.
I'm in the local theatre
I'm a
group.
thespian.
And then she was polite enough to say to Dimity, oh, what do you do? Thinking Dimity was the artistic type at the table. And Dimity went, well, I do ticketing. And then she looked at me and I went, well, I ran the Children's Festival at QPAC and have produced shows all over the world and blah, blah. And she's like, oh, right. Oh, you do out of the box. Oh, and then it kind of, the ding moment happened there. It's like, yeah, I get it. I'm very privileged to have all of that
I'm
experience.
a very big deal around
I'm
here.
a thing.
I'm a very big fish in a very
My name's
small
Brett.
pond.
Brett Howe, have you heard of me?
Yeah.
Well, you should have.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that donated all the props when we cleared out our storage
So-
to your school.
Brett, where's all our big deals? Why isn't this a big deal yet?
I'm not in the soccer game. That's your deal.
I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to do it. I think we need to go to the next famous person.
To the Matildas.
Oh, jeez. All right. Anyway,
Anyway,
so
sorry.
there's a game we've got to play, and we've been talking. I've enjoyed our conversation. I love having conversations with you.
You're
But
not editing
you-
you fucker.
What has gotten on with you in the last probably 8 episodes? You're just like, let's have a really thought-provoking conversation before the dicey question.
yeah, but because I don't know. I love you people.
You're
It's
making
so-
it two podcasts in one.
Well, maybe it is time for that. But what I will take you to is just your mind's eye. Lend your mind's eye into the underbelly of a mountain. And in that underbelly of a mountain, there's a hall. And in that hall, you see bits of armor with gnawed bones and little parts of dwarven ruins and creatures, little pieces of armor. You've dispatched a ghoul that was inside that room, and you've moved southwards into what looks like it might be a forge room. And inside that forge room, specifically, you hear the sound of coming from one of the fireplaces.
Can we see the fireplace?
Yes, you can.
Can you just remind us, Justin, just Not for me, because I'm absolutely certain of where I am in the room
You're in
and
Axelhome?
what's going on.
Okay.
But for the listeners at home,
Okay.
just give them
so
a little
you've
bit
entered
of...
the fortress of Axelhome where you are trying to clear it out so the
Yeah.
people of Fandolin can come in here. You've walked around
they're
a
waiting
little
for our
bit.
call,
They're
right?
waiting for you call. No, you've already called them, haven't you? No, there was a talk of calling them. You haven't called them yet. You're clearing it out. You found sign of ghouls in here, undead creatures that have feasted on the bodies of the dwarves. And the ghouls themselves are dwarven undead, kind of ghoulish kind of creatures. You've moved obviously into the eastern side of this complex, and you found that inside the eastern complex there's an armory of sorts and a bit of a place where people have what do they call it, a barracks. And you've moved south from there into the smithy. So like all good dwarven places, there's a smithy room where weapons are made and those kinds of things. And it's as you've moved into the smithy, I believe it was Nikron that moved in there first, followed by you, Maradius, and then Flunt was kind of after, because Nikron has been tasting from the joy of the mushroom sauce. And I believe this is my take on this, Nikron, and correct me if I'm wrong. In an attempt to get over being in a confined space,
Absolutely.
like
Absolutely.
I believe that's
this
what's
has
going on
possibly
here.
been the worst week for Nikron, because all he's been doing is going into caves in confined spaces, and he's at this point now obviously got the right kind of people around him that can provide the right kind of
medication.
of ease in form of medicinal.
You want to be high up in the air? I can help you, man.
That's right. See,
He's
I'm
good.
flying without using my wings right now. So so
Very
actually
much
partaking
into the
of the
sedative version of
Yeah.
that, not the Esche version of that.
Shame.
Yeah, and so you hear a
Out of character, last time you made this noise, it was Sturges. So I'm expecting Sturges or some other
we haven't
bloke.
had
which
a
is
rest.
exactly
Can I just
what you
confirm we haven't
see
had a rest, have we?
coming
I haven't
straight out
done
of the
anything.
fireplace, straight into initiative, please.
Called it. I remember.
See, that also reminds me of battery-operated devices.
I remember Justin's.
Well, there's fans,
creature
you know,
noises.
summertime, the handheld fans.
12 for Nikron.
Okay, 12 for Nikron and Moradius.
I don't have a lot of spell slots left, guys.
Tenzos.
10 Flunt.
14.
Oh, not too bad, Flunt. Unfortunately, you have all been beat out
Beaten off.
by a Sturge, which comes flying out straight at Nikron, who is the leader. He's stumbling along like a bit of a fool at this point in time. I don't want to cast aspersions. You're not a fool, Nikron. So
Just cast a Sturgis at you.
cast a Sturge. I am casting a Sturge at you as it attempts to blood drain you.
I'm glad you're holding a dice there, Justin.
As its piercing mandible, snout, whatever that's called, tries to suck the
Proboscis.
living
Is he
proboscis.
is he within 5 feet of me?
I sure am.
No, because you're behind Maradius.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, so that was the marching order that we
Was
established.
it? When did we establish a marching order?
Just then when I said it. Before, like literally 2 seconds ago.
Saying, why am I in the front?
Because you stumbled in here with
Oh, fair
reckless
enough. Fair,
abandon.
fair.
I believe that you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fairly sure a 24 is going to hit you.
Yeah, probably.
Doing 4 points of piercing damage.
Oy.
It attempts to attach to you. After you take that 4 points of piercing damage, the proboscis kind of slinks under your feathery skin into your body itself, and it attaches itself almost like a straw about to drain the very living essence from your body. Flunt.
Flunt is going to move up. And he's like, don't worry, man, I've got it. And he's going to take a large swing
With what?
with his hammer.
Okay. So you're just going to swing at Nikron with your hammer,
I'm going to swing at the bug
which is attached to Nikron's
with
body.
my hammer.
But it's non-lethal. So it's okay.
First attack.
Mhm.
It's a natural 2.
That'll miss. You hit
It'll
Nikron.
miss. Yeah, I was going to say it misses the thing.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
His
he,
knee-
hang on. Shouldn't he be rolling with a disadvantage or something? Or no? Okay.
Why?
I don't know, because you're trying not to hit me.
Yeah. Which way does your kneecap bend? Because it now bends the other way.
I don't have kneecaps.
Even worse.
What level are we?
What do you mean you don't have kneecaps?
5.
You got like a peg leg.
Oh, that's triggering, Justin.
It's a fantasy world, Luke. You can change it.
10?
Is not going to hit. Not enough. So 2 swings, and you try to avoid your friend, your new companion. You miss your 2 swings as they fly errantly, almost because Nikron is a little bit moving around. I'd assume that you're trying to flick this thing off.
No, I'm
You can't-
tripping. I'm just like, ooh.
You can't get there. That move, Nikron, it's your go. You've got this thing
So
attached to
I'm
you.
looking at my arm. I'm just like, this is, wow. I don't like it. I'm going to click my fingers, make a DC Dex, DC 14 Dex save.
That's a natural 15 from me.
Okay.
I'm not rolling badly at all.
That's not very good. I burning hands for a grand total of 4 damage. So you saved?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 4 damage.
4 damage. Okay. What about the guy with the hammer? Is he in that burning hands?
No, no.
You
no.
just turn around.
Where did you go? Yeah, there's no facing, right? I turn back to Maradius.
No, there's Pathfinder has no facing. 5e
yeah.
has facing.
Does it have facing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Almost like a spider that you fought upstairs. The Sturgis proboscis shrinks back into its body, curls up as the whole thing shrivels and then falls to the floor dead.
4 damage.
Crispy.
That all it took. Nice. Happy
Crispy.
days. Can I eat it
Smells
now?
like KFC.
I'll just peck it up and eat it.
Okay. You're getting a little peckish
That's
after
right.
the
Got the
mushrooms.
munchies, yeah.
Yeah, wow. And you find
Prawn.
you find yourselves inside of a smithy room. There is the door that you came from, and there is another door in this room.
I'm listening for
I
more.
really didn't expect 4 damage to kill it, but that's great.
There's a Sturge.
I don't know what a Sturge is.
You fought him before.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were like, these usually kill us. And then we were like, oh.
Yeah, they're fine in this game. Not bad at
They're
all.
just
No
flying.
Hydra.
Yeah, they used to drain you of con
Yeah.
in other games, and that's deadly at this level.
Did no spider.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So no more.
No more sound.
Just me chewing.
Just
Hey, we have a look around the room.
yep. You start moving
Perceptions?
around the room. Yeah, you can have a quick look. Everyone, give me your perceptions as you move around the room.
Natural 20.
14.
Yeah, nothing other than the door that you came through and the other door that leads into some other chamber.
And the Sturgis came out of
Just the fireplace.
a fireplace.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through the door.
Is there
but
no more
let's-
noise?
No more noises, just a fireplace in front of anvils that obviously they were heating the metal up, moving it to the anvils at this time. You think maybe a large chimney through the mountain
Yep.
and the Sturge was living in there?
Is there any fuel for that fire in the fireplace?
No.
Is there anything around that we could put in as fuel for the fireplace?
You can probably find some wood and stuff like that in there.
Should we not move through the door and move along?
Yes,
rather
move along.
than-
Just
Over
want to smoke out any more Sturges.
If we move through the door,
Sure.
then the Sturges are here and we are there.
How
said
about we
that? Who
take
said
down
that?
the
Who said
door?
Maradius is going to move to the door and
Okay,
move through the door.
you move to the door and you open it into a storage cupboard. It's almost like a walk-in wardrobe where dwarven armor smiths and weaponsmiths would have stored their tools, which still seem to hang from hooks along the walls. Though a bit rusty, the tools are in serviceable shape. If you are of a blacksmith type, you might need these tools or might be able to use them. Otherwise, they're kind of useless for you. You know, they're pincers and very specific blacksmith.
Out
like
of curiosity,
rasps
what is
and-
of a blacksmith type means?
so tools like for blacksmithing. So if you are going to use them for blacksmithing, so there's like pincers and rasps and clasps and those kinds of
Hammers.
things that are specifically tong-like because
Hey.
they're for fire and
the
for
people of
melting.
Vandalin will
And
find this very useful
For melting.
as they move in.
Yep. Anything else?
Nothing else,
We'll
and
move along.
it's a dead end.
Oh, we turn around.
Okay, moving back. So you've kind of explored most of this eastern side. Where you haven't gone so far is towards the south. So you're moving back through the smithy. I'm assuming you moved back into the room where you fought the ghoul with all the dead kind of armor, the bits of armor from the dwarf, and you moved back into that large room. Remember, there was a room where there was a balcony where someone might be giving a dress, where there would be a muster. They call it the mustering hall inside of this. Now, there are 2 double doors that lead south from here that you have not been in.
Shall we check the southern doors?
How are you for healing?
I'm good, man. Are you injured, man?
Yeah, I'm not looking great. That Sturge certainly...
At 4 points of...
May Grundanar bless you. And he slaps a palm on your forehead. And you get...
Nothing.
You get nothing. You get nothing.
4 points of non-lethal damage.
8
Sorry.
points of healing.
Yeah,
Like the end-
get in.
Eight.
Double
That's
bubble.
great.
You're at the
We're
end of
going-
Willy Wonka. You get nothing.
Get a palm
Sorry.
print on your forehead.
I was looking at my wisdom and I'm like, wait, no, I'm a paladin.
Marching order.
Maradius is first.
Maradius, then Flunt, then Nikron. Yeah, I believe you actually have been into these first double doors to the south, because there were, we had a conversation about the arrow slits. So there's 2 arrow slits on either side that are pointed in towards this hall. You remember we had some issues with that. So there are 2 arrow slits to your left, 2 arrow slits to your right that are pointed at you with clear ballistas on the other side pointed in your direction. 2 double doors sit at the southernmost end of this. And as you approach those double doors, just like last time, which I think is why you guys didn't go, there is a smell, a stench.
Yep.
That same stench you've smelt in other places that kind of, it reminds you of that ghoulish room that you were
undeadness.
just in, the undeadness, the smell of death and decay that is somewhat, now that you're smelling it, you're like, this is actually the stagnation of this place. This place has a permeation of this throughout.
I grabbed 2 small mushrooms and shove them on my nose.
Maradius is wielding his
Snorting a mushroom.
sword and board,
Yep.
the nice fine shield. And if you guys are ready, I'll open the door, but be ready.
Yeah, man.
Nikron,
Yep.
over here.
Yeah,
over,
sorry.
over here.
Yep.
Ready?
Burning hands. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Oh.
And he opens the door. Sorry, to pull.
The stench of death hangs heavy in the air of this dusty, pillared hall, which has a dark, soot-stained fireplace at the eastern end of it. A deep alcove in the south wall contains a dais, atop which rests a limestone throne flanked by granite statues of dwarven warriors. Between the throne and the fireplace is a hallway with stairs that lead up to a higher level. Directly across from you, south, is a throne with 2 big dwarf statues on it. To the east is a large fireplace. There's also a little corridor that goes out there that you can see stairs going upwards beyond. And to the west are 2 large double doors. Across this, to get to the throne, is a 20-foot kind of pass, like you got to go past 20 foot. But the main thing for you is that it stinks in here. The smell of death and decay is very prevalent in here, though you see no evidence of dead bodies, no detritus, no armor, no battle scars, nothing in here that looks like there is any sign of the dead dwarves that you saw in the other rooms.
Does the fireplace have fuel?
This fireplace you're looking at, it wouldn't, no.
Wood.
It looks like it's whatever fuel in there has been burnt out.
Shall we do a quick explore?
Yeah.
Mind the staircase.
Yep, let's do it.
Why don't you guys have a look while I go bar the staircase from anything coming in?
Radius.
Okay. The whole thing from east to west is quite large. So it's about 70 feet east to west, and it's only about 20 to 25
20 feet deep.
Yeah, from north to south.
So we'll
but
do,
it's a big rectangular room.
and the stairway's on the eastern side, right?
The stairway's on the eastern side near the fireplace
look
on
to
the far wall.
Let's look to the west first, clear that area, and then we can move to the east and up
Mm-hmm.
quietly.
Okay. So you move straight into the west. You get yourselves to the double doors that lead west to you. At this point, I don't know, is anyone doing anything around this stench?
Well, we just did a quick look around the room.
We can't see the source.
Is the smell so pervasive that it's going to affect us?
You're moving in and to the west.
I put mushrooms up my nose.
Yep. So that's right. You've got mushrooms up your nose.
If it starts to get oppressive, he'll grab a rag and wet it and put it over his face.
Yeah. And Nikron, you're just
I can't smell anything. I'm high as a kite.
yeah, fair enough. How does he smell? Terrible.
With his nose.
Yeah.
Birds don't have noses.
Yeah, it's a beak.
So just everybody make a wisdom check for me.
Wisdom.
Cool.
Matata.
Wisdom
Okay.
save or wisdom check?
Wisdom check.
Okay.
Perception, let's say.
Oh.
Perception check. Which
Nycrin got 16.
Okay.
10.
15.
Nikron and
though I'm high.
Maradius, as you walk in, Maradius, you probably see this first because the light from your torch plays a little heavily. You see shadows from your torch splay over the statues of the dwarves, the large two dwarves on either side of the throne, and you swear, both of you, that you caught a shadow or something move behind the throne.
You know I have dark vision, right?
Something behind the throne. Be careful.
Right. Okay. Right.
Nikron, can you light it up back there?
Sure.
Is there a very easy light spell?
I can prestidigitate
No.
light,
No.
fire. I can start a small fire, right? No?
All right, what you doing?
Can I minor illusion a light? Let me just firebolt.
Oh, they went full circle.
Above the throne. Let's go. Yeah, can I firebolt above the throne?
Yep, so you're just shooting the back wall
Yeah.
on the other side of the throne.
Yeah, for a 15.
For a 15, something hits the back of the throne. It lights up quite quickly, like the wall at the back there, but otherwise you don't sort of see or anything else.
Allow me, gentlemen, in case it's an intelligent creature, man.
Well, it's lucky it didn't get hit because that was 19 points of damage.
You there, creature behind the throne. We would mean you no harm. If you come out in peace, we could have a conversation. But if you are an evil fiend or you want to damage us, you will probably get killed. I mean, these guys are dealing a lot more damage than I am at the moment.
You don't kill, remember?
No. But I got to get the last hit to knock it out.
That was a really good opportunity to waste our stealth. Let's go check behind.
The firebolt wasn't.
So
I was
Maradius-
looking at both of you.
So Maradius starts moving towards the throne itself.
Yep.
As you get there, Maradius, two things happen at exactly the same time. You step up onto the dais that leads up towards the throne. As you hit that first step, you see that movement from behind because the throne's quite large and wide. Like it provides good cover for anything that's behind it. A creature that looks like a withered dwarf, almost like that same description of last time with that the lips peeled away and the sinews of a beard that kind of straggle from its undead lips moves around the side of you. This dwarf though is not really wearing the same style of armor that you've seen in others. It would be more of a ceremonial. Imagine dwarven robes, but I imagine dwarven robes still to have armor plates kind of sewn into them, and you can see that rotted and sort of pulled away. It steps out from behind the throne and you hear it go in a loud shriek that pierces through the entire chamber, echoing through, and you're kind of all sitting there. It's loud, it's huge, and then from in the distance you hear
Full of a took.
from somewhere else. That is echoing maybe from the stairs, maybe from somewhere, but it's from that western side of the chamber.
Build the doors.
Initiative.
Okay, we need to shut these doors. 13 for Nycrin. Oh, hang on, no, so 14 for Nycrin.
10 for Flunt.
7 for Maradius.
Just give me a second. I'm
good.
actually reading this time how
many zombies there needs to be?
How many spiders are coming down?
Those
to
spider
kill
zombies.
you. Yeah, there's a lot of
Zombies.
a lot of a lot of spiders that are about to come
So
down.
you said that last time,
So
and then
many
you had to
spiders.
retcon the fact that you had too many.
Yeah.
I'm reading it. Stop distracting me.
Well, I take this time to move up next to Flunt. No, move up next to Meridius.
Those mushrooms, man, I tell you. So I wonder if this is
I shut the door and then I move up to Meridius.
if this is a metal covered dais, then it would be armored, right? Is it armored dais?
Nikarin, you go first.
Yes, I do. Can I still see the strangely attired dwarf?
Yeah, what you see is this dwarf step out around towards Meridius.
Natural 20
Mm-hmm.
for a 26 to hit with a firebolt.
Yeah, misses. How do you like it when I say it?
That is for 9
100.
points of fire damage. Do I get to double dip on that because it's a crit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
everything, everything you roll twice.
9 and 3. Fucking fantastic. 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage.
What a
That's-
waste of a fucking crit.
Look, it's nothing to sneeze at. So 12 points of damage. Wow. All right, that brings us down to Flunt. What are you going to be doing?
Shut the doors!
I was going to, man. No need to shout. Fuck. I go and shut the doors.
There are no
They have a
doors
cave troll.
that are in front of the stairwell.
There's no
So
doors.
it's an open corridor that
It's just
gets
a
to the
corridor.
stairwell. So you can go and stand in front of it, which would be you guys moved in and you started going to the double doors that were to your right. The sound came from your left.
Well, no, I'm going to go join the group then
Mm-hmm.
because I'm better next to my friend.
Okay, so you move up towards where Meridius is.
Yep.
So you go toe-to-toe to Meridius, or are you going to move all the way up to where this ghoul has ghoulishly ghouled out behind the throne?
I'll move up to the ghoul.
Yeah. Ghouls.
Do I get an attack?
If you would like to.
Can I
What's
have
your
two-
movement speed? Did
25 foot.
Yeah, that's enough. I was going to say, if your movement is more than 20, you get an attack.
Cool. I'll get 2 attacks actually, but I told you to surrender, man. No, you just called
I
friends.
do believe I've been playing this
That's a
wrong the
natty
whole
one.
time.
What do I do to a natty
5th
one?
edition.
No, yeah. Yeah. Nothing.
Uh-huh.
Nothing happens. We don't have
Second
crit
attack?
fumbles in this game. 5th edition doesn't allow for failure. It's for millennials.
22 to hit.
22 definitely hits.
14 as I slam my giant maw down upon his skull.
Uh-huh.
He's got a skull. 14 points of lethal damage because he's undead. So
Oh,
there is
14
no.
points of lethal damage. Meridius, what are you going to do?
Is it still standing?
It is definitely still standing.
Meridius is
Yeah.
going to stick it with his sword.
It's still standing.
After all these hits,
14 to hit.
14 is enough.
And at least one magic crit.
7 points of damage on the first hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then 23 to hit on the second.
Definitely.
For another 9 points of damage.
So 16 points altogether.
That's correct. And then he's just going to make sure look at Flunt and go, I think we found the king.
Mm-hmm. The creature looks at both of you maniacally, not kind of back and forth. It looks quite hungry at you. The first thing it does, Flunt, is it attempts to bite you.
Mm.
Its jaws come flying in for a natural 20 to get to you.
It's vegan.
The jaw snaps shut, doing 13 points of piercing damage as it bites your arm, while at the same time lashing out with its 2 claws against Meridius, who is on the other side of it.
Hang on. Who did the bite first?
We bite.
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought it
Flunt
bit
first.
Meridius first and then Meridius again.
Okay. The 2 claws lash out at you for 22 to hit you, Meridius. I'm rolling
That's correct.
quite
I'm going to try
well.
and intercept to knock some of the damage off.
Mm-hmm. What does that do? How did you do that?
So
Tell
I
me.
swing up my hammer from its resting position and try and knock the claws slightly off center to try and get a glance in below. So it reduces the damage by 5.
Reducing the damage by 5, an interception works. What do you have to roll to reduce the damage? What's the DC or whatever?
It's a 1d10 plus 3.
Of the damage.
Yeah.
It's just
Okay.
automatic, is it?
You don't
just a
have to actually do an
reaction, yeah.
attack action or anything like
Just
that.
a
It just
reaction.
happens. Okay, that's very
My
cool.
reaction action.
That's cool. So you take how much? 5 points off.
Yep.
1 point of damage claws into you, Maradius, as you can feel a necrotic paralysis come seeping through your bones. Make a constitution check for me, please.
Sing the theme tune.
Wrote the theme tune.
Con save of 21.
The wrong person has been chosen for a con save. Everybody's attention, though, is drawn to the eastern side, where down the fireplace, a plume of soot falls to the floor. The dust settles, showing two ghouls, soot-covered, leading a charge with others clawing out behind as more of these fiendish fiends are coming. The round ticks to number 2, Nykron. It is your girl.
Okay, as Nykron's been drawn attention to the fireplace, as he draws attention, sees these things drop, he flicks his wing.
See at least 5 of them.
Okay, he flicks his wing backwards into the direction of the Dwarven King, and 3 feathers shoot out to him for 8 points of damage from magic missile.
8 points of damage, magic missile.
Yep.
The Dwarven King's dead eyes become alive and then die. That's how hard you hit him as he falls to the floor.
You relived him before he died.
As he falls to the floor, twitching. I don't know. How do you undead a dead?
I don't know.
Describe
That just smacked in my mind of the whole thing when they dig up the graves in the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of. I thought a little bit of Pee Wee Herman at the back of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And he falls to the floor, lifeless, undeadless.
Undeadless.
Yeah, his ghoulies are gone. Are you doing anything else, Nykron? Because you probably started the move or something.
So, in relation to the things that have come through the fireplace,
Yep.
am I closer to them than the other 2?
No, you're not. So everybody's sort of equidistance them because you're just a little bit back from these guys. The fireplace.
So I've got the other guys in between me and the
Yeah,
ghouls.
the fireplace is 35 feet away from
Lovely.
you.
Yeah, I just moved
With
to
a couple
there.
of piles
They're in
in
between
between.
me and the ghouls.
Okay, so you just kind
Help
of
me.
take cover behind
Yeah, that's right,
Maradius
yeah.
and
I'll be firing
and
from the back.
Flunt.
I will move up to the ones coming out of the fireplace.
Okay, they are 35 feet away, so you'd have to double move.
I do not double move. Should we, so let's have them come to us, buddy.
Sorry, 30 feet away. I misread that. 30 feet away.
Oh, so just in their movement range, but not
20,
ours.
30 feet away, yes.
Right.
Because they come out of the fireplace is where they would land.
I delay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you stop your action. Maradius, what are you going to be doing?
It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Maradius is checking where people are. He's going to try and get in front and protect the back line.
That's you. You're the back
He
line.
just came and hid behind you, so you don't even have to move.
But if he moves forward, he might. How far? Sorry.
30 feet away.
And where did you go?
Nowhere. I'm waiting to see where you move.
He's standing exactly where
So
you were.
Maradius is going to move up to the
Charge in?
soot. Yeah, soot.
Mm-hmm.
Pulling down the hat on his head as he goes.
Mm-hmm. Over your eyes so you can't see?
No. And then hit the closest one.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Hoping.
Yep.
Saying out loud.
Yep.
He's never done this before. He's going to say out loud, JR be with me as he strikes these creatures from another plane or another place. So, yeah.
Is he striking them from his groin?
No, he's
It's
striking
very
them.
JR.
Maradius is going to pull the hat down and instead of running towards these creatures, he's going to point the sword at the closest one and go, come over here. And as he does so, an arc of lightning reaches out from the sword, kind of connecting from the hat to the sword to the closest creature, and the creature needs to make a strength saving throw, please.
A strength saving throw. Oh, this could go 50-50. I've just rolled right down the middle for that one. And wait for it. I rolled a 10. Gets me to 11.
I don't think that makes it. So Moradius has moved out within 10 feet of this creature, did that. It fails its saving throw, so it gets dragged by the lightning towards Moradius.
Okay.
10 feet in a straight line towards me, and then takes 1d8 points of lightning
What
damage.
is that spell? And what have you done?
Well, somehow
Use your
innately
Hat
he's
of Wizardry.
activated the Hat of Wizardry
Which gives you a 0 level spell.
to use a lightning lure cantrip.
That's a cantrip that does 1d8 of damage?
Yeah, it does.
A cantrip.
4 points of lightning damage.
A cantrip.
If it ends its turn within 5 feet of me. Firebolt dude over here.
Is that a cantrip as well, Firebolt?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake. This
Yeah,
It was
game.
1d10. It's now actually 2d10 for a firebolt from
Yeah,
level
Fuck
5.
me.
This isn't broken at all. So take, what did I say? 4 points of damage?
Yep.
From the lightning, and it's right next to me now, so I can hit it with my second action.
That in itself is broken. I
Yeah.
cast a spell, then I hit something.
Going back to
That is epic, right?
Once a day.
Yeah, but still.
Going
That
back
is
to
clutch.
Baldur's Gate, I found the best
We
way
heard you. We heard you
Smooth
before.
segue there.
to be ridiculous was when you get to level 4 and you get to take a feat. Screw ability point changes. It says a feat that lets you take a cantrip from any of the classes. So you just find like one of the magic classes that you have like a high enough score in, like, you know, Eldritch Blast on my bard, and suddenly I've got Eldritch Blast as a cantrip, which is 1d10, and every 4 levels you get an extra Eldritch Blast in the cantrip. So by level 12,
Just hearing this makes me angry.
by
It just
level
makes
12,
me angry.
he was doing 3 1d10 cantrips.
You know what's wrong with Dungeons and Dragons? It's too hard. I just need to do everything. I need to be able to do everything and everything well.
The reason I'm
I
avoiding
feel like I'm
playing
not
that
good
is
at
because I
things.
know the same thing will happen to me as it did with Baldur's Gate 2. I'll just lose my life in a game.
How much damage from the swing, Brett?
Well, it was 16
forget
to
this
hit.
conversation.
16 to hit.
Yep, that definitely hits.
Does 6 points of damage from this swing.
Okay, so 6 points of damage
Pulled
from
pulled it out of
the
rank.
swing. Moradius has had his turn, which gets us to
Wait, I'm coming out of my hold it action.
to Flunty Bunty.
I'm now going to move up to Moradius.
Doesn't sound right, Justin.
Come in. That was a good job, man.
Take this one out.
I will, man.
Take them off one at a time.
Yeah, let's do it. And I take a first swing at
Mhm.
this one.
Mhm.
19 to hit.
Yep, that'll definitely hit.
11 points of damage.
We'll drop it to the floor.
Yeah, man. Blah.
Sebastian must have put lightning in my sword today when he sharpened it up.
That's pretty good.
Good work, Sebastian. That's what I'm calling the squire now. Sebastian.
Sebastian.
Bastion.
Basto.
Basto.
I have another attack, but I got no more movement, so it's fine.
I fucking hate that name.
I mean, Steve. Steve.
Better.
Rick.
4 ghouls come sliding towards you with malice in their eyes and hunger. The first of the 2 ghouls comes at you, one at each of you, Moradius and Flunt. They're going to lead with their claws this time because if they can get this right, they can paralyze you, making you an easy target for them. So Flunt does a 15 hit you, and Moradius does a 15 also hit you.
Negative.
Negative Ghost Rider. They follow that up with 2 other ghouls who are doing the same. That is a 15 to hit you, Flunt. And fucking hell. And a 15 to hit you, Moradius. That is some
What are the chances? What are the
consistent
chances?
fucking rolling that I just did. Let's see how good they are with their bites, because they are hungry. They wanted to paralyze you. They wanted to get that ghoulish joy of you standing there while they could bite your necks and ease the wet blood. Fuck me
15.
dead. That is that's the 5th one in a row. It's a different attack, but a 13 to hit you. Flunt is not going to work. Okay, finally I've rolled a different. It's not weighted. For you, Moradius, that is a 7. That's not going to hit you. That's not going to hit you, Flunt. But a 19 may hit Moradius with the last of the chompers that's coming in. Bites come into you. You're kind of ducking and weaving as your leg kind of moves forward. It launches at you, grabbing at your thigh, finding a spot where it can bite you behind the knee.
Wait. I'm going to stick my stick up and try and get it in between the bite and reduce the damage by 4.
As it does, even after Flunt has gotten in the way of it, does 4 points of damage, as it bites into you and you feel the sting of horror as it kind of sucks stonish blood out of you. Blood
from a stone.
You can even feel as it bites you. It's not just a bite to do damage. There's a bite that savors. It's kind of savoring the texture and the smell and the joy of it. That brings us to the top of the round and Nikrin.
Is there a way that I can get these guys in a 20-foot sphere?
Yep.
That doesn't get my guys. All right. So I'm going to pull one of the beads off.
Yep.
I'm going to flick it over the heads of my compatriots and into the space behind the zombies.
So you pull the bean off and then flick
Bead. So is this just done exactly the same way as my spell would be? I'm assuming.
Yep.
Yeah. So DC 14.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need
Dex
to roll an
change.
attack throw.
Do you know which one of the beads you're throwing? Because weren't they all different powers and stuff?
I know. I thought they were all fireball.
Yeah,
ones.
but they're all different powers,
Level.
aren't they? I may be wrong.
I thought they were all the same, but
I may be reading into a different version.
well, it's a level 3 spell from the start, so it's going to be at least a level 3 spell, right?
Oh, here it is.
It's all the same.
Yep, they're all
1d6
third level.
plus 3.
They're all third level fireballs with a DC 15 save.
DC 15, that's better than mine. So they
Yeah.
get 8d6 damage then, right?
You can throw it up to 60 feet away, so it
The
does
range
work
is a bit more
different.
impeded, okay, but it's the same damage, right?
You can
8d6.
hurl multiple of them.
Just one, please. Just the one. DC 15 dex save for Godin. That's better than mine. That's pretty good.
So DC 15 dexterity save. That is a 15 on the nose from the first one. That's pretty good. Good work, Justin. From the second one, it's a dex, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fail. That's a pass just. And, oh, wow. 3 passes and a fail.
So that's 23 points of damage for the fail.
Uh-huh.
And then 11 points of damage for the passes.
The fail, stricken with fire,
Immolated.
immolates itself.
Exfoliates and immolates.
and falls to the floor in a heap of ash.
Ash, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
right up the ash.
Is that a Pokemon reference?
That's right, Money Penny.
Good job, man.
Moradius, you have 3 creatures that are in front of you.
Marius is going to look to his sword and
It's shiny.
Yeah.
The blood has been cleaned off it.
there's no lightning coming out of it, so he's going to move to the first one in front of him and hit it with a pointy end of a thing.
Yep.
11 to hit.
That is not enough.
And then 24 to hit for 6 points of damage. Big overhand swing. Misses the first one. Comes back up from the down on the left of his hip, back up to try and get his sword back into position and slices it straight across the head, knocking its head off.
Its head falls to the floor as its body drops in a thud, sickeningly. Hits the floor. It's almost a hollow. Like these things they're desiccated, so they're light at the
You say sickening, but for Moradius, it's satisfying.
Yeah, fair enough. There are 2 combatants left, and it is your turn, Flunt.
Flunt is going to swing his hammer up into the air.
Okay.
And
You have one that's sooty and one that's not.
I'm going for the one that's not.
That's sweep.
One that's snot.
It's going to be like,
That was my version
it's
of
me,
soot.
power of
Grayskull?
Grundina. And he's going to do a big double-handed sling.
Did you just have to check you a sheet for Grundina?
Yeah.
I was going to say
I was
Mario
gonna-
then. It's a me.
It was. That's why I got confused because I was doing a Mario reference. And I'm going to use Divine Smite.
Mm-hmm.
Divine smack.
And I'm going to try and smack this guy with a divine blow.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I use a spell slot to do extra damage.
Okay,
blow
wow.
him, Grundenar. Blow him good.
Okay, so you attempt to hit. Let's hope you actually
19 to hit.
That
Oh,
will definitely
great blow.
beat its armor class as
Do you not like the first slap?
I hit all that out.
19 points of damage.
Oh!
Radiant damage comes flying down into the hammer straight through him, grounding its.
you see sparks fly out from its feet as the bits of metal armor radiate with this radio head damage, as it says, "I'm a creep," and then falls apart dead.
Definitely not non-lethal, that one there.
No,
Good
they're
work, Front.
undead. We
Good
don't
They're
care
already
about
undead,
that.
yeah.
No,
Was that,
Yeah.
was that
Very,
your
very
only
good.
attack this
I'm
round?
going to take another one at the
Okay.
last remaining. Last one then?
Yep. Yeah. Have you got anything big left?
Yeah, I can do that again.
Ooh,
Oh,
you
can I do that again? I could do that again, but I'm not going to.
Oh, you're not going to.
I'm going to leave some glory for the
Okay.
other.
You're going to leave some
Some
glory for the
other
rest
guys.
of them. Okay.
That's probably not going to hit anyway with the 3. So that takes it to an 8.
An 8 is not going to hit. So there is one left. There is one left standing that is in front of you as we see Flunt's radiant damage take away the remaining 1 hit point that creature had.
I said not the sooty one.
Yep. Nykron.
Quick flick of the ring and 3 feathers come
Excuse
flying
me?
out. Yep. At the wing.
That's a very good. I've really liked this game.
For 13 points of damage on the magic missile is 3 feathers.
You also remove its 1 hit point that is left after the joyous fireball that is there, and they fall to the floor. What are you going to do? What are
Do we need some healing, boys? Are we all good?
I haven't taken a hit, so I'm all right for the minute. I'm not great, but yeah.
I've been bit by these things. Is it contagious?
Just spit on it. Are you injured? Do you need some healing?
No.
All right. Okay.
Is it as big a problem as it used to be?
I'm not sucking the poison out of that one.
Let's have a look around.
Seriously, though, is this going to be a problem, this bite?
I'm going to make a medical check for you.
Perhaps a knowledge of the undead would be a better.
Any knowledge? What kind of knowledge would work?
idea.
with that?
Religion.
Religion, you say?
Of religion.
Then it's a 9 for me on religion.
It's also a 9 for the information.
Radis knows 13 about all this stuff.
I don't know anything.
Yep. No, you guys are a bit in the. You don't think so? You've dealt with these things before
Hang on
and
a
been bitten
second.
by them. So
I'm just going to flick
you don't
it.
think so?
And he kicks his foot out, flicks it. Yeah, it feels better.
Yeah,
Come on.
probably get a spoon and gouge out the wound.
I need to
Flay
just
yourself.
quickly sit on this throne as part of the whole thing I'm here for. Just need to reclaim it for the dwarves so that we can move in it. And then, yes, you can rent it out while we're,
We're going to check the room while you do that. Do you want to?
Interesting. Pause. So you step up to the dais. You walk up to the throne
Yep.
of a forgotten kingdom,
Yep.
of a king with grandiose thoughts in your head, Grundenar thoughts in your head.
Grandiose.
You turn around. You squat down. Your buttocks touches the cold stone.
All those piles.
Something interesting happened.
And we'll find out next week.
No, you feel a sense of satisfaction because the throne's really comfortable.
Good. Flunt Ferdinand Stonebud claim this dwarven keep back in the hands of all dwarven ancestors to be reclaimed and reused by the power of Grundenar compelled me. We will use it for your people, though. That's cool.
All right, and you start searching around. The first thing that you do is you look at the ghoul that you are calling
Bodies.
the king.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a crown on it.
Doesn't.
If everything that you start looking at, the more that you start looking at, you think that maybe bookkeeper or a castle has a specific title, and that title is Castellan. of a castle. So some more of a clerical thing. Maybe the king went down, maybe the king fled. Who knows how Axelhome was finished? But what you find is that there is a gold signet ring that bears a fist with a hand axe inside it. That same crest that you've seen on the shields and on different things. You also find upon its body a lot of rotting flesh and nothing else. Just a ring is the only really interesting thing.
Detect magic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nothing.
Oh, waste of a spell slot.
Gleams a magical.
I was going to say.
And you have a couple of ways to go from here. So you know that the chimney may lead somewhere, so you could probably go up that chimney. You know that there's some doors that lead off that are shut to one end, and on the other end near the chimney there is also an open corridor with some stairs going upwards.
3 directions, 3 of us.
Perfect. Do it. Split the party.
I'm assuming there is no point going up the chimney.
Can we put the bodies in the chimney and block it up?
Yeah, of course you can. Boom, boom, boom. Bodies are in the chimney.
And
blocking
then
it up.
leave those doors. Those doors seem secure. Let's go up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's an open passageway. We can't secure that, so let's make sure there's nothing up there. We can come back and get to the doors. As long as those doors are secure, come back for them later. Up the stairs. I'll go first. How are we going? We're all right then?
I'm all
We're
good. I mean, I can
good.
heal, but I don't think I need to yet.
Which one of you two did that lightning thing on my sword? It was cool.
Oh, it was me. I did the big
Oh,
flashy
look,
light.
I've never seen
Fire's
it.
my thing. Fire. Not lightning, fire.
Rick, did you do that? Interesting. Up the stairs we go.
You mean Steve?
Sebastian.
It's not my name.
That's not my name.
So you start moving up the stairs. The stairs kind of do a big U shape as they move all the way up to the very top, and you get into a corridor. The corridor that you find immediately in front moves forwards, obviously, as a corridor does. There are
Unless you turn around and then it's
there are
backwards.
a couple of ways the corridor. So the corridor terminates at a door at the far end, but before that door, coming backwards. So from the very far end, which is about 50 feet away from you, there is a door. Then directly behind that, you see that the corridor turns to the left. Directly in front of you, or 10 feet in front of you from the top of the stairs, there is a door on your left and a passageway with some stairs going down on your right.
Do any of these passages seem like they might link up to the doors that were downstairs?
No, they're on the other side. The doors
Great.
were on the opposite
Excellent.
side.
So we'll
You're on the western side. The doors were on the eastern.
walk up to that
You're on
first.
the eastern side. The doors were on the western side. I've got that mixed up a couple of times. I realize. Thanks, viewers.
I don't think anyone's mapping this, Justin.
Oh,
We're
I
just trusting
don't
you
even
what's
think
ahead.
I
You say
am.
that, now we're going to get a post.
I
where
don't
somebody
even-
is mapping it.
I don't even think I'm mapping it.
I'd love that if
A
somebody
door.
actually was mapping it. Sorry.
A corridor. A corridor.
To the left.
To the left. So you move up, not through the door? Or
10 feet ahead, there's a corridor to the left and a stairwell to the right.
Yeah, there's a door to the left and a stairwell to the right.
Just a quick look down the stairwell without walking down the stairwell.
Yep.
It's just a corridor to the left
Moves into the
and a
darkness.
stairwell to the right.
Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Oh, no.
I'm going to put my hand on my sword and make it feel so right.
Gross.
It's just a firebolt. Trust
Anything
Justin
down the stairs that I can see?
insane.
Just darkness down the stairwell.
Just darkness. Moves down
That's-
into darkness. There's a stench that's coming from that darkness as well.
There's more down there by my nose tells me, but let's check this door and then head down. What do you think?
Sure.
Door and down or
Let's
down
do
and
it.
then door?
I reckon we go down then door because at least the door's closed, you know.
Down we go.
Before you go down,
Oh,
everybody make a perception check.
Nice. I don't see a bloody thing with a perception of 4.
9.
Sweet.
Maradius does most of his perception by smell, and he can't smell anything with this stench in the air.
None of you are prepared. As you're kind of looking around, you look at the door, you look down the stairs. Maradius is looking door, stairs, corridor, door, stairs, corridor. From the end of the corridor where it moves around to the left of you, you see something that you haven't seen before. Illumination lights up the end, which catches your eye just before a wispy form of a female elf floats into view around the corridor.
Female elf.
Its face wreathed in a tangle of gossamer hair, its body clad in spectral rags that seem to flutter around it. The apparition's face looks at you as its beauty is marred into a scream of rage as it screams out, "Get out of my house!" All of you make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
Now,
Oh, gosh.
if this is what I think it is, it's bad.
Is it?
What'd you get?
Meridi's got 19.
You are fine.
10 for Nikrin.
And Flunt?
Natural one.
Oh.
Nikron
Yes.
and Flunt. Can you just, on your character sheet, write the word frightened? And we're going to find out what that means next time
Oh, I can
we
click on the
play.
conditions.
It's a different F word.
Yeah, you guys are currently frightened.
It's all right. I'm just going to back out and let Steve take this one.
Oh,
They're on the same plane of existence.
You could take her out on a date.
Yeah. I mean, Steve's very discerning, but I think something going on.
That's not what I thought it was.
frightened.
That wasn't what I thought it was.